I love writing stories, getting in my office, and just thinking, how can we portray this concept of who God's character is? And to get to use the gifts that God has given me is really a joy.
AmericanFamilyStudios.net. This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840.
We're talking theater or movies, folks.
That's my wheelhouse.
That's right.
So I sold one of my kidneys, and we bought us tickets right behind home plate. It's worth it.
Under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances.
Bingo. Old dog Candler.
You're right back in it, Tim.
Thank you. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio on this the 24th. Yeah, November the 24th, day after Thanksgiving. Good morning, Ed Vitagliano.
Good morning, Tim Wildman.
JJ Jasper.
Great to be here. I walk around like everything is fine, but deep down, I really want a Sears Christmas catalog. Now, my friend Will, another baby boomer, he posted that, and that made me laugh out loud.
Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck Christmas catalog. Flip through that when you're a kid.
Roebuck got dropped about in the well, he got dropped back in the 50s, 60s.
But it's hard for old dogs to learn new tricks. Yeah.
All right, Trivia Friday it is on American Family Radio. I'm Tim Wildman with Ed and JJ. We thank you for listening. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving Day celebration. And we are here to play trivia. We're here to impart some learning, people.
Because after good meals yesterday, that's about all we could do.
Right.
I wouldn't want to talk any serious foreign policy or economics.
Hey,
I got enough brain power left to be trivial.
Raise your hand if you drifted off about 3:30 yesterday afternoon into some turkey-induced Never Land.
We ate last night. We ate last night in conjunction with the Egg Bowl, which is in Mississippi.
Tradition.
That's the traditional game between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. So I didn't drift off at 3 p.m., but induced by any turkey.
Right.
I might have drifted off. I'm not saying I didn't.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I've got a good verse for this time of year. Psalm 100, verse 4. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. And what a wonderful celebration yesterday. Families across the country, food and fellowship and football, and we've just got so much to be grateful for.
Amen. Absolutely. Okay, Trivia Friday it is. I'm going to give the phone number. You're eligible to call if you have not been on the air with us in the last 8 weeks. If you've not been on the air with us in the last 8 weeks, you are eligible to call and be on the program today. Here's the phone number to reach us to ask and answer. That's what we prefer. You can do one or the other, but we prefer that you do both ask or answer. Ask and answer. Here's the phone number, 888-589-8840. 888-589-8840. 888-589-8840. And if you're eligible, if you're 11 years old and up, 11 years old and up, we have that rule. It became more difficult for us three baby boomers to understand 7-year-olds on the program, and oftentimes their parents are telling them what to say, and it's
awkward on radio.
Yeah, it's awkward on radio.
Yeah.
So we 11 years old and up is the age limit. And what else, Ed?
Well, we're going to have 9 questions total, 3 from each of us, and one of those questions is a mystery question.
It's a mystery.
And if you answer it correctly, you will hear this sound. JJ, the beloved cowbell.
Beloved,
what does it mean?
It means that you landed on the mystery question and answered it correctly, and you'll win yourself a nice AFA tumbler, a stainless steel tumbler. And if you're watching the program, you'll see Tim Wildman is balancing the tumbler on his head.
And turning to look at us. This is very impressive. He's added to his repertoire. Now he's doing finger guns. That was a bridge too far. But anyway, folks, you can watch this program. We do have a a live video stream. And I guess we have a live video stream, even though there's hardly anybody else here. But you can watch that live video stream in 3 ways. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, and search for Today's Issues. That's normally the name of this program. On YouTube, I think it's Today's Issues Live. And you can watch the live video stream, or you can go to our own streaming platform, streaming.afa.net, streaming.afa.net, and you can watch us do radio.
Okay, go with your questions, Ed.
All right, here are my 3 questions. Longtime listener Maybell caught me making a mistake last week. I offhandedly made a comment and said Jonas Salk discovered penicillin. He didn't. Who did? Who discovered penicillin?
Good.
Tip of the hat to Maybell for keeping it real, keeping us on the straight
And
and
humility on your part to admit that you were wrong.
I've been married 42 years, Tim. I've admitted I was wrong more times than I can shake a stick
More
at.
times than Carter's got liver pills. Isn't that what they used to say?
That's right. And a lot of those times I admitted I was wrong when I didn't even believe I was. So
That's the bedrock of a good marriage right there.
yes, it is.
You know, your fundamentals of marriage, that's one of them.
That's
for
right.
the man.
You know, when you're first married and they say, no, this is the hill I'm going to die on.
Yes.
You said it was 2 streets down that we turned, not 1. No, you said 2. We were standing right there. You were wearing this shirt. Then after it's all over and the steam and the pouting, you say,
Right.
I just won the inning, but I think I've lost the whole series.
Yeah.
You know, man, it's going to be no fun sleeping
It
on
takes
the couch.
a few years, but you get the life sucked right out of you. And you just realize your place in the world. And you deal with it.
That's right.
Oh, so where were we? You made a mistake on the penicillin. Give that question again.
Yeah, so who discovered penicillin? We'll just make that short and sweet. That's my question. It's actually pretty easy, unless you're me last week, and then I had the wrong answer. Second question. Now, this one's hard. In the sci-fi classic film Alien, what was the name of the spaceship?
Alien. I really feel like a dog, you know, because it came down and brought all these people on board. And all I could do is just stand there and say, alien.
That's fist bump worthy there. So if you're a real sci-fi fan, you will. That's probably not that hard, but for most folks it might be. Look it up. Third question. This is a multiple choice. On the Looney Tunes Roadrunner show, how did Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner usually communicate with viewers? Was it with secret codes? Was it with sand drawings? Was it with handheld signs? Was it with sign language? And those are my 3 questions.
Here's what I've got. First question, how long did the first Thanksgiving last? How long did the first Thanksgiving last? Second question, how many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? Who knew there was a standard? But there is. My question, how many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? Third question, true or false, Black Friday, today, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest day of the year for plumbers. Is that true or false? Black Friday is the busiest day for plumbers across the nation. True or false?
All right, my questions are as follows. Number 1, what is the difference between Hispanic and Latino?
Good question.
Wow.
Because I may have been listening to the wrong music when I'm at home on the weekends.
Well,
dancing like nobody. What is that? Dance like nobody's watching you or something. I don't know.
What is the difference between Hispanic and Latino? Okay, a few weeks ago, I got stuck on names from yesteryear. Remember that? The names of babies.
Oh yeah,
yesteryear.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm just going back the last 4 years. The last 4 years in the United States, there have been the same name has been the most popular name for the boys and the girls.
Wow.
Well, not the same exact name. In other words, the same name has been the most popular for 4 years, but they're different, male, female. I want to know what they are.
I know for about 20 years, the boy's name was the same for like 20 years, but that's been a while back.
Yes. But I want the most popular name for boys and girls in the United States, babies born in the last 4 years.
And
okay, so there'll be answer. You will have two
different
answers.
names.
One for boys, one for girls.
And if you're expecting Rufus, boy or girl, it just
Go with
flows.
Rufus?
Boy or girl.
Absolutely, that'd just be the sweet little name for that little
You
bundle
get interchangeable.
of joy. Yes, Rufus.
Yes, because I can't hear any kids on the playground going doofus.
Okay.
Rufus the doofus.
All right.
My apologies.
You do
to
know
any
that there are a lot of
Rufuses out
Rufuses who make donations to our ministry, don't you?
there. Well, and they
Go ahead and defend them.
No, I'm saying that's cruel.
That's
and,
cruel.
And all you Rufuses out there,
Both
I
of
feel your pain.
All right.
Spaghetti does.
Number 3, the Mason-Dixon line was originally meant to define the boundaries of what 2 states? The Mason.
that's
Good
interesting.
question.
That's an American history question. The Mason-Dixon line was originally meant to define the boundaries of what 2 states?
Huh, that's a very good question.
Okay, let's go.
All
By
right.
the way, I don't just pull questions out of a box. You know what I'm saying? I do deep research myself.
Yes.
And you do too, Ed.
I do.
Ed, JJ does too.
That's right. We work hard at these
Yeah.
questions.
All right, go.
All right, we go to Texas, and George is on the line. George, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Morning, professors.
Hey, good morning, Brother George. Thanks for calling. Where do you live in Texas?
Great big city of Gilmer.
Okay. Well, listen,
Just
thanks for
north of
calling.
Tyler and Longview.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, George, turkey or ham or both? What did you guys do yesterday?
We had turkey.
Yeah. Good. Well, do you want to ask, answer, or do both?
Do both.
Which one you want to answer?
One that's a cinch for us baby boomers, Wiley and Roadrunner.
Okay, here's the question, George. On the Looney Tunes Roadrunner show, how did Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner usually communicate with viewers? Was it secret codes, sand drawings, handheld signs, or sign language?
I'll go with C, handheld signs.
That is correct.
Nicely done.
Way to go.
I'm hearing a beep beep in my head.
You know, I almost chose that as the question. I figured it would be too easy, but it was actually, when I looked it up, it said sometimes it was beep beep and then sometimes it was a meep meep.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to get
Right.
into that controversy. Man, things can turn ugly.
So the
You know-
cartoons we watched as children, they dropped anvils on people and slammed people into the sides of cliffs. And then the anger management courses were always full. I see no, I see no connection.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
All right, George. Well done, sir. What's your question for us?
Okay, in the motorcycling community, many years ago, there was someone who was referred to as the Prince of Darkness. Name him.
In the motorcycling community, the
Could
Prince
it be
of Darkness.
Satan? So this is
No, he's thinking maybe Hell's Angels, the original
Oh.
Hell's Angels. Hey, George, I'm a motorcycle guy. I was years ago. A lot of people think Harley Davidson, but actually the Indian motorcycle came first, just by a couple of years, then the Harley.
Like the Chickasaw or?
No, Indian motorcycle.
Oh,
American
my bad.
made, awesome. That was my first motorcycle, was an Indian. But I don't know about that. I never heard of that thing there. That must be a Hell's Angels gang person or something. You better give us the answer, George.
No, it was Lucas. They provided the electrical components of all the British motorcycles.
It was what now? Say it.
And Lucas Electrics.
Huh.
and so they were the company was called the Prince of Darkness.
No, the person that founded the company, I don't know his first name, but his last name was Lucas. And, you know, British motorcycles were notorious for lights going out while you were out in the middle of nowhere on a dark night.
As opposed to a light night.
Hey, Tim and Ed, in the early days of motorcycle, they had a shifter, and you had to let go of the steering wheel to shift, which was problematic. So they got that fixed pretty quick, and you just did it with your left toe.
Yeah.
You know, down a few clicks, up a few clicks. But
Kind of like a piano.
that's exactly
In a way.
right. It's like riding a piano, but wearing a helmet.
Just
Hey,
like riding
thanks,
a piano.
George. Have a great weekend.
So the fella's nickname who founded the company was
I
that?
guess, the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, I know a lot of bosses that are known as that, though.
Except not around here, Tim.
No,
I want you
thank
to know
you.
that.
I appreciate it. I don't know what you guys call me behind my back.
Well,
Here comes
Tim,
the Prince of Darkness.
we call him Tim. We call you
Okay.
Tim.
Okay.
All right, we go to Georgia, and Mark is on the line. Mark, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brother Mark. Thanks for calling. Where do you live in Georgia?
Little town in southeast Georgia, Blackshear.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Blackshear.
Know where that is?
Yes, sir.
South to JJ's
Yeah,
probably
I've,
been there.
I've spoke there. I sure have. Great area.
Blackshear was not on the map. I'm sorry. Blackshear was not on the map until Stetson Bennett put us on the map.
Okay. Hey, Mark, ask, answer, or do
Two-time
both.
Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
quarterback.
Oh, Stetson Bennett. Yeah, the quarterback. Yeah, where did he go in the
Yep.
pros? Didn't he get hurt or something?
No, he went to St. Louis, and I'm sorry, not St. Louis anymore. It's Los Angeles Rams,
Rams, yeah.
and he went out on a non-football related injury illness.
Okay. Well, I knew he went to. I thought he went to one of those LA teams, but I didn't know what he was.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the greatest quarterbacks in Georgia history. 5'10", 190.
That's right.
You know.
He attended high school at my alma mater in
Wow.
Blackshear.
That's some good
Yeah.
trivia right there, Mark. But, hey, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
I'd like to do both, please.
Which one you want to answer?
I think I want to try the Mason-Dixon line.
Okay, Mark. Here's the question. The Mason-Dixon line was originally meant to define the boundaries of what two states?
I believe that's Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Wow, nicely done.
Yes, sir. Do you know a little bit more of the history there?
I don't. I did several years ago. I visited some friends up in Maryland, and we took a short trip up to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So we crossed the Mason-Dixon line. At that time, I researched it, but I've since forgotten the history behind it.
Okay, well that's good that you remember your trip and the history. It was to divide meant to define the boundaries between Pennsylvania and Maryland. Just a brief history here between 1763 and 1767, the 233-mile line was surveyed along by Englishmen Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon to define the long-disputed boundaries between Pennsylvania and Maryland. Evidently, the kings of England have given land to two different families, and they overlapped, and so they had to do that'd be pretty amazing.
Survey.
To be in that era and doing a surveying of that much land, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That many miles of land, but it took place that Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon. It later became known
Boundary
synonymous.
for the North and the South.
Yeah, free states and slave states,
Yeah.
basically the North and the South, pre-Civil War. But the Mason-Dixon line extended via the Ohio River, although that was not a part of the original surveying. Yeah. So you got it right, brother.
And even a deeper dive into what
Yeah.
you're saying there, after Charles Mason retired from surveying, he invented some jars that were wildly popular with canning. And, I mean, it just took off.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Mason jars.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did not know that those were two individuals, Mason-Dixon line, and it was surveyed out. Boy, that's fascinating.
Yeah, that's good trivia.
All right, go ahead with your question, Mark.
Okay, I also got an American history question. In what year was the first U.S. dollar bill printed? And as a bonus question, whose picture was on it?
All right, Mark, let us talk amongst ourselves here. Okay, fellas, it would have to been, now the year is going to be hard, but it have to been, it's when the United States was a country, obviously, and you would have to have it used from north and south, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
okay, can we? Is it so? We don't know. Do you know
Yeah,
the year, JJ?
No, I remember. I kid a lot. My grandmother had an early dollar bill, and it was about at 1.5 times bigger than the ones we have now.
Really?
And people used to save silver certificate. That
Yeah.
was kind of a unique thing with the dollar. But I'm like you. It's going to be a couple of years after 1776. It seems. They had a lot of coins, gold coins,
Yeah.
and things. But
I have no idea.
I'm
yeah.
gonna go 1819.
I'll go with that because I have zero
Interestingly,
idea.
Yeah. 1819. Stab in the dark.
It was 1862 during the Civil War.
Really?
That was the first dollar bill printed.
That's right, 1862.
Okay.
And the man's picture on it was Salmon Chase, who was the U.S. Secretary of Treasury at the time.
What did they use prior to that? Did states have their own money?
I don't know if the states had their own money, but it was coins.
Well,
Until that time.
and he did
okay, I
say-
got you.
He did say the first
Bill.
dollar bill.
Yeah.
Bill as
Maybe there
opposed
were-
to a coin.
Right.
Well, or as opposed to maybe $5. I don't know if.
Yeah, that's
And I
interesting.
know
So,
the Confederacy had their own currency.
Right. Well, there was a little slice of history where, like Tim said, states had their own money printed up because they said, hey, here, this is a good way to keep our money in Georgia or whatever if we just print our own money up. But,
yeah.
hey, good trivia, Mark.
Very
Hope you and your
interesting.
family had a blessed Thanksgiving. Thank you for listening to AFR.
Hey, let's go ahead and take our break, and that way we don't have to
Okay.
interrupt it. So we'll take our break right here. We'll come back. We'll repeat our questions that have
Heretofore.
gone unanswered.
Hey, columnist Irma Bombeck from yesteryear said, Thanksgiving dinners take 18 hours to prepare. They are consumed in 12 minutes. Half times take 12 minutes. This is not coincidence.
We'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes here on today's issues.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildman.
Is there something you wish to accomplish? Is there some great goal, some high ambition that looms out before you calling you to it? Well, you can do it. You can accomplish whatever it is that you wish to accomplish. Nothing you wish to accomplish, if it's in keeping with God's will, is impossible. With Him, all things are possible. And many people are surprised to learn that He wants us to accomplish our highest ambitions. If you wish to accomplish something, make sure it's in keeping with God's will. Then, turn yourself over to Him and become the instrument through which He can accomplish whatever it is that the two of you wish to accomplish. Commit everything you do to the Lord, said the psalmist. Trust Him to help you do it, and He will. But you must not only believe in God, you must also believe in yourself. If you don't believe you can accomplish it, then the chances of your accomplishing it are mighty small. But if you believe it is God's will and you can do it, then the world can't keep the two of you from accomplishing it. God has said, everything is possible for him who has faith. Faith includes a belief in yourself. What a person accomplishes in life depends on what he believes he can accomplish. A little Jewish tent maker once said, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. You know, that's a powerful creed for a person to live by. I personally believe it's true. I think I can accomplish things that would otherwise be impossible because of the strength I gain from the Galilean carpenter. But let us remember that there's a vast difference between cocky egotism and humble self-confidence. Egotism is when God is left out. Humble self-confidence is when God is your partner. If we wish to accomplish anything, then one thing we must learn to do and do often: work. There is absolutely no substitute for hard, diligent work. You know, genius is 90% hard work and 10% natural ability. Some folks wish to work for 45 minutes and get paid for 2 hours, but life doesn't operate that way. Life pays us only for the time we put in. A person reaps what he sows. Hard work means prosperity, said a wise king long ago. Only a fool idles away his time. On another occasion he said, Do you know a hard-working man? He shall be successful and stand before kings. One other thing is necessary if you wish to accomplish a great goal. Keep working at it. When obstacles come, double in your belt. Take a dose of self-confidence medicine. Ask God to help you and go at it again. Be prepared for temporary setbacks. They're going to come. Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs, but he also struck out 1,330 times. God wants us to accomplish much in life, and with His help, we can.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildman, a production of the American Family Association.
The Lord looks down from heaven on all mankind to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. Psalm 14:2.
American Family Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
All right. That's the theme from the
Dragnet.
Dragnet television program.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
60s. That was all about the FBI, wasn't it?
Those guys were a barrel of laughs, weren't they? Those two guys, they rivaled, Laurel and Hardy.
Abbott and Costello.
Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Oh, man, yeah,
and those two cut-ups on
the cut-ups
on Dragnet.
Folks, if you're too young to remember the show, the two main actors were so businesslike that their characters,
they couldn't make it today.
No,
in today's world,
unless it was tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
unless it was being played for laughs. But they were so businesslike that they had like zero personality.
They were FBI agents. Yes, they were like,
that's right.
I think they were LA detectives. What they were.
Is that the one that said just the facts?
Yeah,
yes.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right, Trivia Friday it is on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ. Ed, go ahead and repeat your questions.
All right. Who discovered penicillin? That's the first question. This is kind of a follow-up from last week where I got something wrong and said the wrong name, but who discovered penicillin? Second question, this is a little bit harder. Folks, you might have to look it up if you're not a sci-fi fan. But in the sci-fi classic film Alien, what was the name of the spaceship where everything took place? Third question, Caesar Augustus, this is a question bouncing off last week. Caesar Augustus was emperor of Rome when Jesus was born. Who was the Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified? Who was the Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified?
Here's what I've got. How long did the first Thanksgiving last? We're talking Pilgrims, Indians, first Thanksgiving. How long did the first Thanksgiving last? Second question, how many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? How many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? Who knew there was a standard? There is.
Mm-hmm.
Third question, true or false? Black Friday, today, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest day of the year for plumbers across the United States. Is that true or false? Black Friday is the busiest day for plumbers in America. True or false?
My question, I got two questions that have heretofore gone unanswered. They are as follows. What is the difference between Hispanic and Latino?
I have zero idea on that one.
Yeah, I'm curious to learn.
What is the difference between Hispanic and Latino? Secondly, for the last 4 years in our country, the U.S., the same name has been number one for babies born, for male and female.
Same popular name.
Yes. They're two different names, obviously, but
one for boys and
one
for
for boys and one for girls. I want to know what they are. What are the two names? So it's a two-part question. All right.
And these names are on a hot streak, is what you're saying.
They are.
In the 2020s.
Last 4 years, they've been number one. All right, go ahead, Ed.
All right, we go back to Georgia, and Lori is on the line. Lori, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you, esteemed professors.
Thank you, Lori.
It's good to be esteemed.
Yes, it is.
Lori, did you and yours have?
Oh, yeah.
Did you and yours have a good Thanksgiving, Lori?
Oh, yes, we went. We went a couple miles up the road and had dinner up there at 2:00, and it was a pretty good crowd.
Wonderful.
Like it's family member?
I did my eggnog pie.
Eggnog pie? Never heard of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I kind of got it off the internet, and I kind of tweaked it a little bit. It's a no-bake eggnog pie. It's very easy to do.
Well, if you're not baking, I guess it is going to be easy.
Hey, Lori, you're talking about some interesting and different recipes. One lady this year said that they had a 100% stress-free Thanksgiving. And when they asked the secret, she said she stuffed the turkey with Prozac. So our attorneys say we're not allowed to. We're supposed to say don't try this at home. But you got in-laws, outlaws, relatives. She might have been onto something. But don't try that at home, folks.
In fact, don't try that anywhere. Don't try that at a restaurant, a picnic. Don't try that anywhere. So
hey, Lori, ask, answer, or do both.
I would like to do both.
Which one you want to answer?
I think, oh boy, it's a hard choice between the Latino and Hispanic thing and the plum. I'll try the Latino and Hispanic thing.
Wow.
Okay, Lori. The question I have is, what is the difference between Hispanic and Latino?
Oh, well, I know Hispanic covers any Spanish people, like most of the countries in South America. And lots of times they refer to Spanish people as Latinos, but Italian and Portuguese also is Latino, because the language is Latin originated. So
How many more paragraphs you got there, Lori, with the answer?
I'll say Hispanic
we have a time
refers
limit.
to Hispanic people, and Latino refers to the whole Hispanic language group.
Okay.
Although they seem the same.
Chapter 2.
Hey, Lori.
Here's chapter 2 with Lori.
Lori, our boss nickname is Prince of Darkness. So if you wonder why he's so rough on
okay. Simply put, Lori, so you put it in a couple of sentences. What's your answer? What is the difference between a Hispanic and Latino?
One covers the Spanish, and Latino covers.
Are you talking about Spanish speaking? Is that what you mean? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then you're correct.
All right.
Okay.
Nicely
Okay,
done. Now, what is the answer?
Okay, if you've got 7 minutes, I'm going to explain it to you right here. No, I'm just teasing. You know that, Lori. I'm just teasing with you, right? Okay. Don't get your feelings hurt and email us. All right, here you go. Here's the answer. Hispanic refers to a person with ancestry from a country whose primary language is Spanish.
Okay.
That's Hispanic. So that's what she said.
Yes, Latino, I thought that's what she was saying, but she didn't say language, okay? Latino and its variations refer to a person with origins from anywhere in Latin America, Mexico, South and Central America, like she said, and the Caribbean. So,
how do you know when to use which one?
So,
like if you're talking
someone
to somebody.
from Brazil, even though they speak Portuguese, they're still considered
Latino.
Because they live in Latin America.
Latin America. That's where you live in Latin America, you're a Latino. Hispanic, those who speak Spanish as their native language. So I guess you could have some crossover there, but more, I'm thinking Hispanics more like Central America and Mexico.
Well, so people in Brazil would not be Hispanic, but they would be Latino.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Everybody
That's clear.
Yeah, got that?
That's bueno.
Okay. All right. Next week I'll have the difference between white people and Anglos. Okay, and
Anglo-Saxon. The Saxon part is what.
Yeah. All right, Lori, your question for us. Go ahead.
My question is for you. Who won the MVP award for the National League?
This year?
This year?
This year.
I'm going to guess it's Atlanta Braves since she's from
Georgia.
I don't know. Who won it, Lori?
Ronald Acuna Jr.
From the Braves, right?
He's from the Braves. He's the leadoff hitter. He is 40-70, which no one else has done. He has made more records this year than every time he went out there. Just about stolen. He's over 70 stolen bases, 40 home runs. No one else has done that.
What's his name?
Ronald Acuna Jr. He's from Venezuela.
I think they said he had more records than Carter's got liver pills.
So he's both Hispanic and Latino.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, he's from Venezuela.
He's Latino, right?
Yep.
Why would he be Hispanic?
Yep.
They speak Spanish in Venezuela.
Is that the natives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Lori.
40-70. She's talking about, for those who know baseball, talking about he hit 40 home runs in the season. It's 70 stolen bases. She said that's never been done.
Yeah, because usually people who steal a lot of bases are a little bit slighter.
Right. Yeah, they're not power hitters.
They're not
also
big, beefy power
So that's
hitters.
pretty amazing.
Wow.
40 home runs and 70 stolen bases. Next up, Ed.
All right, we go to Iowa, and Robert is on the line. Robert, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, professors. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Did I lose you?
I know. We've got a plumber coming to the house later on, but other than that, things are going pretty well.
Well, you better take out a loan for that.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
you got that right.
Hey, Robert, they said that plumber, after he'd given the fellow the bill, and he was at a doctor's house, the doctor looked at the bill and his jaw dropped. He said, "I don't even make that in an hour." And the plumber said, "Yeah, neither did I when I was a surgeon, so that's why I went to plumber school to start doing this."
I tell you guys make this week pretty happy at the end.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Robert.
I appreciate that.
Hey, do you want to ask, answer, or do both, sir?
I could do both if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, sir. Which one you want to answer?
The number of days, the Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, here's the question. We're talking original Thanksgiving, Pilgrims, Indians. How long did the first Thanksgiving last?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Nicely done. I did
Who
not
said
know.
it's time to go home?
Yeah.
Are they ever going to leave?
How sick they were the next day.
It was one of the wives. I think that's probably safe to say.
You know, I did not realize, Melanie was telling me this morning, that on the original Thanksgiving, they put 5 kernels of corn on each person's plate. Did you know that? Had you heard that story?
Mm.
They were starving through the winter. they rationed down to just eating 5 kernels of corn a day. And they did that. They fasted, prayed, and this was a pretty good little stretch. They were starving to death. So on the first Thanksgiving, all this bounty, all this harvest, they set the plates out, and they put 5 kernels, and they said, so we would not forget to thank the Lord.
Wow.
That he got us through this. They started out with that. They prayed, then they piled all the food on.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for,
Amen.
and they did as well. Hey, Robert, which question for us?
Well, we all know who is the third oldest person in the Bible, because we know Methuselah and Jared. The third one in age. How old was he, and who was it?
Is that stated in the Bible?
Yeah, they gives their right when they're giving that little
They give
list.
their ages in the Bible. I
Methuselah.
looked it up on the thing. They give a list of all, like the top 15 people that lived.
Right.
I don't even know who the second one. Who you broke up a little
Jared,
bit there,
I
Rob.
think.
Who was the second oldest?
Jared.
Jared.
He had it Subway.
The guy from the
yeah.
He beat you to it.
Beat me to it.
Beat you to it.
Yeah. You eat enough Subway sandwiches, you can live to be 960 years old. Hey, I don't think we know, Robert. What's the answer?
He built a boat. It was Noah.
Noah.
There
He
you
lived to
go.
be 930.
Wow.
930?
Yeah.
Yes, and of course I imagine you look at different ones, but and Adam was 920.
All right, let me ask you this: is it generally accepted that a year was a year?
Yes,
I think so.
absolutely. I'll tell you one of the quotes.
In the same way we define it today is what I'm saying.
Yes.
365
There's
days.
not a lot of quotes from Noah, but one thing, as soon as he got past 930, headed towards 900, towards 930, he said, getting this AARP mail. I've been getting this since I was 50, since I turned 55. This is driving me crazy now. Over 800 years, they keep sending me this stuff.
Over 800 years.
But that's a lot
give up.
of money saved for senior discounts, though. That kind of works in your favor.
That's right.
So Noah is the third lived the
one.
third longest years.
That's good trivia.
800 how many?
930.
930.
930. Wow. All right, thank you.
All right, Robert.
You know what they say,
Thank you,
guys.
What
At
they
this
say?
point, you say, what do they say, Tim?
What do they
So
say,
what
Tim?
do they say, Tim?
They say every man wants to live to beat 100, except the man that's 99.
Yeah, no, I mean nobody wants to live to 100 except for the guy who's 99, right?
No, I did that fell flat. Everybody wants to live to be to 100 except the man that's 99. Because if he says I want to live to be to 100, it's next year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
Right.
So the
He's
guy
not
who's
saying-
99, he doesn't say I just want to live to be to 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't want to live just one more
Yeah.
year.
All right.
You see the point?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
that was funny, sir.
It's a deep spiritual message, Ed. It wasn't meant to be funny. Do you not get it?
It was a Devo.
It's kind of like plumbers. You know what I'm saying? There's a deep meaning to life that you have to see through.
Yes.
You have to
And it costs you a pretty
have
penny to see.
Shift through or
Yeah.
short through.
All right, Trivia Friday it is on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ, did the last 60 seconds mean anything or make any sense? No, it didn't.
It wasn't our finest moment.
No, but
I'll say that.
You know what? We're moving on down life's road.
That's
here.
right.
Let's go.
That's right.
No looking back.
All right. All right, we go to Arkansas, and Babs is on the line. Babs, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Oh, wow. Thank you, gentlemen and professors.
Well, Babs, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're usually called esteemed, but that's okay. You just call us professors. We're non-descriptive. But anyway, where you live in Arkansas, Babs?
It's in Camden, Arkansas, kind of south central.
My wife lived there when she was like 2 to 4 years old.
Really?
Yes, her dad worked for some armory or some place that has.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yes, they make missiles here.
That's right.
I don't tell everybody, but yes, they make missiles here. Yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law,
It's
who passed away in 2005, I think he worked there in the mid '60s.
Huh.
Is it who's father-in-law? Who are we talking? Is this Tim or?
This is Tim, my father-in-law.
Yeah.
He's deceased,
Wow.
as I said, but back in the '60s, he worked in Camden, Arkansas, at this place you're talking about. Because my wife
This is
sent
a small world.
Yeah,
really is.
Camden's what is Camden? 20,000 people,
That's
maybe.
a nice area.
Something like that.
Oh, I don't even think it's that many now.
Okay. What's the name of that
It kinda
place?
went
What's
downhill.
the name of the place that makes the missiles?
Is that Aerojet or is that
Okay.
let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, you made me. I can't remember now.
Well,
One of them's called Aerojet, and the other one's something else.
Yeah, you get put on the spot.
But they both make. Yes.
It's hard to remember. Hey, Babs, ask, answer, or do both.
Well, I'd like to do both.
Which
actually,
one? Which
yes,
one you
and
feel
try.
confident about? Which one you want to answer?
I think I want to answer the one about who was ruler when Jesus died.
Okay,
When he was crucified?
Babs, here's the question. Caesar Augustus was emperor of Rome when Jesus was born. Who was the Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified?
Pontius Pilate.
No, he was not. He was governor.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking about the emperor.
he was not the biggest one.
Right.
Oh, Herod. No, and he was there. I really don't know then.
Okay.
I got the guys.
Well, that's hey,
No,
listen, that's
they're
okay.
part of the story there, so that's
Yeah.
an easy thing to say.
Yeah, but you were going down wrong. You were going in reverse, Babs. If you just go one level higher than Pontius Pilate, you might be able to get it right. Can you go one up?
Well, tell me because I'm blank.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the answer
Right.
away.
We'll save it for the
We'll
next
save
one.
it. You made it a little easier for the next
Yeah.
person.
Hey, Babs, what's your question for us?
I'd really, during the commercial break, they did It's My Turn. And I really, just out of curiosity, I'd like to know when that particular tape was recorded. And y'all may not have even listened to it, but, and this is Tim's father. I know he was talking about accomplishing things in God's will. And amazingly, even this radio station was a dream that Donald Wyman had, and it is reaching so many people, and it's like the only voice of truth on the radio at all anymore.
Well,
that's an accomplishment. That's listening to God, and that's being. That's what I'd like to know when it was recorded. And,
Babs, we don't know the answer to that. First of all, during
It
the
would
break,
take some research to find out.
it would take some research. Well, during our breaks, we leave the studio and take care of whatever business we need to take care
You know
of.
what I mean.
So we did not hear it, and so we can't answer the question.
I can get it in a ballpark. Babs, we started the station in summer of 1991, and then through the 90s, we recorded a lot of those, and then we took a bunch of the collection of those and put those together for what you're hearing now. So, it was, in the 90s mostly, but thank you for your kind words, and we agree that the Lord gave Don Wildman a vision and how the Lord is using AFA and AFR in these troubled times.
Babs, if you'll send me an email, I'll send you a book that has those what
The
you're
printed version of what she's hearing. Oh, that's
okay.
nice.
I can't do that for everybody, but if you would send me an email at comments@afr.net, attention Tim, I'll send you a book which has a lot of those commentaries that you hear my dad give with It's My Turn. Okay, thank you, Babs. You're listening to emails comments at AFR.net. You're listening to the program Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. I'm Tim Wildman with Ed Battagliano and J.J. Jasper. We're broadcasting from our studios in Tupelo, Mississippi, across the country, 100 and whatever it is stations we have now, 178, 79, somewhere in there.
And we're live today. This
Yes,
is
we
not
are.
a pre-recorded
Right.
show.
Right. So let's go back to the phones, Ed.
All right, we go to Kansas, and Brad is on the line. Brad, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, it's kind of a privilege.
Hey, Brad.
Kind of. All
Thank
right.
you. I guess that's a compliment. We'll take it
I
as
love
one.
messing with you guys. Yes.
Well,
It's all right. You're not the first, but that's lots of people mess with us. You know, we're just humble servants of education. You know, we're just trying to make people awesomer, smarter, and betterer. You know, one question at a time. So
that's our mission statement right there.
that's right. All right, Brad, you want to ask, answer, or do both, brother?
Oh, we'll do both.
All right, which question you want to try to answer?
The alien question.
There's a sci-fi fan. All right, here's the question, Brad. In the sci-fi classic film Alien, what was the name of the spaceship?
That would be Nostromo.
The Nostromo. Way to go.
Nicely done.
And, you know, it was a serious question. JJ took it in a whole different way with his perfectly pitched Rocky imitation. So,
so you in the movie Alien, the name of the spaceship is what now?
Nostromo. That was where all that took place on the spaceship Nostromo. Hey, did you have to look that up, Brad, or are you just a sci-fi fan?
I'm a sci-fi fan.
Okay.
I don't know anything about sci-fi, but I did see a T-shirt. A guy said he got abducted by aliens. They beamed him up into the ship. They dissected his innards, cataloged everything, and he said, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Hey, Brad, I just thought of something for an AFR travel mug.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the challenge. In the sequel to the movie Alien.
The sequel
was titled Aliens. It was Colonial Marines. What was the name of their ship?
Oh, my goodness, you're putting me on the spot.
Then you had Return of Aliens, Aliens Strike Back,
Son of Aliens.
Aliens.
I got the movie, but I can't remember. Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
All right, that's okay. Yeah. I just thought we'd give you a challenge. But
hey, what's your question for us, Brad?
Well, let me say this before I ask my quick question. What gets me with all these UFOs, that crashes and everything, if they're so advanced and everything, how come they're always crashing?
I know it.
Good point. Duly noted.
Anyway.
It's like
all right, we're running out of time, so.
Yeah.
Let's move on here. My question is, do you guys, this isn't the question, but let me ask you this first. Do you guys know what Damascus steel is?
Damascus steel, is that the steel that the Arabs used, the Muslims used?
I think it's a sword or maybe
for their swords.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the production of it. How do you? We're getting into how do you make it? But do you know what it is?
I just order my swords. I order my swords off Amazon. I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, a certain way to produce it is you get a piece of steel, you draw it out, you heat it up, you draw it out, and then you cut it in half, and then you fold it over, and then you heat it up again. You beat it together, and it re-welds.
Yeah.
So now you've got two layers.
Okay.
And you can do that, and it makes a beautiful pattern. You guys ought to look it up. I love watching them show Forged in Fire. That's a beautiful.
Hey,
awesome
you
show.
better get to the question, buddy.
Yes.
There's the
okay,
music.
my question is, how many times do you have to fold it over to get 1,024 layers?
Wow.
That'd be 514, 30, what do you say, 34? I don't know. You better tell us.
Okay, 10 times. It goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, all the way up to 1,024. So you have to draw it out, cut it in half, fold it 10 times to get 1,024 layers.
You give me something to do this afternoon.
You know?
Thank you for that, Mark. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mark.
I think he left out the corn syrup. You're supposed to put corn syrup in there.
Yeah, in between the layers.
In between the layers.
Layers, yeah.
Rinse, repeat.
That gives it the texture.
Yeah.
We'll be back momentarily. Stay with us.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
Dr. Travis was a man that was full of life.
Bert Harper of Exploring the Word.
He loved the Word of God, and it came across in the classroom. Dr. Travis put in my heart a desire to know God through His Word. And that's what we're trying to do on Exploring the Word.
Exploring the Word, weekday afternoons at 3 Central on American Family Radio. This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
This is American Family News. I'm Steve Jordahl. The Israeli-Hamas short-term ceasefire deal has gone into effect. Fox's Trey Yinks explains from Hatzerim Air Base in Israel.
Hamas is hoping that this temporary ceasefire will be an opportunity to expand this to a larger truce. But the reality is there will still be hostages inside Gaza after this initial group is released. There is a caveat to the agreement that would allow an extension of the ceasefire for 10 additional hostages for a single day. But still, the fighting will go on after this. Israeli officials, including the Prime Minister himself, Benjamin Netanyahu, they've made very clear that once this ceasefire is over, the Israelis will continue to operate against Hamas leadership inside Gaza.
International calls and pressures for a broader ceasefire are still underway, including from multiple members of U.S. Congress. And U.S. fighter aircraft struck 2 operations centers belonging to Iraqi Hezbollah in response to attacks on U.S. bases that have escalated alongside Israel's operations against Hamas in Gaza. The attacks on U.S. bases include the first use of a short-range ballistic missile against U.S. troops, which happened Tuesday. Ohio's new constitutional protections for abortion access and more are supposed to take effect December 7th, a month after voters resoundingly passed them. But that prospect seems increasingly uncertain. Existing abortion-related lawsuits are moving again through the courts now that the voters have decided the issue, raising questions about how and when the amendment will be implemented. The amendment declared an individual's right to, quote, make and carry out one's own reproductive decisions, and passed with a strong 57% majority. Parents have to be mindful of the things their kids are exposed to, and one way is to feed their minds with wholesome content. AFN's Bronson Woodruff talked to the CEO of Brave Books.
The war for the hearts and minds of kids is real, and one organization working to fight the evil is Brave Books. Trent Talbot said it was when his daughter came along that he really started to notice.
I figured out real quick that there's a real war going on for the hearts, minds, and souls of our kids. I stumbled into Barnes & Noble and saw their indoctrination table with all the LGBTQ books and anti-racist books or all this stuff. I saw that trailer for the film Cuties. Just everywhere I turned, the first few weeks of her life, it was just sort of hit me in the face that, man, it's not the same world that I grew up in.
He found himself thinking all the time about that and what world his daughter would grow up in. And that's how it started.
And eventually, I came up with this idea for Brave Books and Freedom Island and sort of our subscription model, and just decided in 2021 to go for it. And I'm glad I did. It's been a blast.
Storytelling is a powerful tool.
The ability of stories to persuade and change our identity and our beliefs is so much more powerful in books because it's an active process. And it's not a surprise that as companies like Scholastic, as their stories are now characters with mental health disorders, LGBTQ characters that are undergoing sex change operations. It's not a surprise that our children are now mirroring the characters in the books that they're reading.
He mentioned the number of boys that want to be girls has gone up 5,000% over the past decade, and the rates of anxiety and depression are also skyrocketed.
The content that our kids read is incredibly important. It can't be understated. And we really, as Christians, as parents, we need to be vigilant.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
In response to the Biden-Harris re-election campaign releasing a Thanksgiving guide to rebutting MAGA ideas, Florida Congressman Greg Steube on Fox and Friends says it does not paint a full picture, especially with regards to border security.
We have a national security issue right here at our southern border that was 100% created by this administration, and it is fascinating that still 3 years into their administration, they're still blaming President Trump for the decisions that they are making.
The guide released by the Biden campaign includes recommendations on how to answer conservative talking points about the economy, border, and other subjects. It comes after several recent polls showed the incumbent president trailing former President Donald Trump in several key battleground states. Find more news and information online. Our web address is afn.net. We're also on Facebook, on Twitter, and the AFN mobile app for both your Android and iPhone. For American Family News, I'm Steve Jordahl.
What does the American Family Association stand for?
AFA believes that all men and women, whether in private or public, should be free to exercise their faith without hindrance from the government.
These values and more are part of our mission to inform, equip, and activate individuals to strengthen the moral foundations of our culture. We also support the church. We want to be a leading organization in biblical worldview training for cultural transformation. Thank you for standing with us.
This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840. Now, back to more Trivia Friday.
Hey, welcome back to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Tim Wildman here with Ed Vitagliano and J.J. Jasper. It's Trivia Friday, also known as Learning University. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving Day celebration yesterday, and looking forward to the weekend. You know, big college football game tomorrow with national implications. Ohio State goes to Michigan to play the Wolverines.
What time is that game?
That is 11 o'clock Central Time, I think, tomorrow. And, you know, that's a friendly rivalry. You know what I'm saying? They know.
I know what you're saying, but I don't believe you.
They don't get things out of proportion there, perspective. The Buckeye fans and the Wolverine fans, it's mutual respect, what it is.
Now, are people going to be able to go hunting, get a good deal on a flat screen TV, and get back to watch the game? Are they going to be able to do all that?
I don't know. They pretty well hate each other's guts. This rivalry. Anyway, it's a big game because Ohio State's ranked number 2 and Michigan's ranked number 3, and the winner almost sure to go into the college football playoffs.
Oh wow!
Maybe the loser too, if depends on how close the game is.
And what
it's
the
at
other
it's
top
at
8
it's
do.
at Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Do what now?
And it also depends on what the other teams in the top 8 do.
Yeah.
In terms.
But anyway.
So we know what you're going to be doing.
Well, yeah, I'll be watching some of that. It may be warm enough to hit the little white ball around too. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes here. All right, do we go? Let's repeat our questions, Ed.
All right, I've got 2 questions remaining. Simple question: who discovered penicillin? That's my first question. And then second question: Caesar Augustus was emperor of Rome when Jesus was born. Who was the Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified? Those are my 2 questions.
Here's what I've got. First question: how many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? Second,
the typical shower curtain?
Yeah, under normal circumstances.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Who knew there was a standard, but there is a standard on how many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have?
Things of that nature.
And things of that nature. Second question, true or false? Black Friday, today, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest day of the year for plumbers in America. Is that true or false? And then I'm going to add one. Thanksgiving, what percentage of Americans, it's multiple choice, what percentage of Americans actually eat Thanksgiving on turkey? Is it A, 48%, B, 68%, or C, 88%? How many Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving?
What percentage?
48%, 68%, or 88%?
I've got one question left. The most popular baby name in the U.S. in 2022 for male and female. I want to know what they are. In fact, these 2 names have been so popular that they maintained their number 1 ranking for the last 4 years consecutive.
You just think your little nieces and nephews and friends that had babies over the last few years, and you'll have the answer.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, you got a shot at it if you know what Well, what's been the most popular baby name for boys and girls the last 4 years?
You nursery workers, you should be the first to call.
Bingo. Bingo. We got 3 of these. You know, we got 3 whatever, so I'm not going to say it because that'd give away the answer. All right, back to the phones, Ed.
All right, we go to Virginia, and Mark is on the line. Mark, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello, professors.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother?
Fine. How about you?
Good,
Doing
good.
well.
Where are you calling from?
Near to Richmond.
Oh, you're the bird guy, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, you give yourself away every time because of your environment. we can hear the birds chirping. Now, do you ever go inside?
No, those are you
No,
have
these
you have
birds are
budgies.
inside.
You have budgies, don't you?
Right,
What?
budgies.
Oh, you are inside, and they're budgies. They're
Yeah.
like parakeets.
They are. I think a little larger, but they're also lower cost. So you get the budgies. That's a lot cheaper than getting.
But aren't they
the
sort of-
high?
Yeah.
The high price birds.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot.
But aren't they sort of known as the pit bull of birds? the budgie. I mean, they can turn on you, huh?
Yeah,
And
you don't want to ever get caught. You know,
They
with
can be lethal. That's what I'm saying.
budgie on
Well,
the
you
loose.
get that proverb about not to peck the hand that feeds you. I think that's in the Message Bible.
All right, Mark. Ask, answer, or both?
Both, please.
Which one do you want to answer?
The plumbing one.
All right.
Yeah, the plumbing
this,
question.
This is true or false, Mark. Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest day of the year in America for plumbers. Is that true or false?
I say true.
It is 100% true.
Really?
Here,
Wow.
here's
Way to go,
here's
Mark.
the commentary.
Yeah, we got to
that
have
came
some
with
background
this.
on that.
It said, with all the food stress, all the food stresses out the plumbing system, the kitchen drains, the garbage disposals, etc., and it's the number one busiest day in America for plumbers. I never even thought about that.
It's that,
But that's true.
et cetera. That
The et cetera I didn't want to say. Yeah.
How'd you know that, Mark?
Oh, what was the question?
How did you know that?
A guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, that was a
okay.
good guess if you think about it. A lot of people doing a lot of eating yesterday.
and plus big crowds.
and
Probably.
big crowds.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
way
and
to go.
also people coming to your house who aren't used to your plumbing system.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait, not used to it. Doesn't everybody kind of have some standard plumbing in their house anymore?
We have indoor.
Yeah. That's what
we got that in
That's
Mississippi.
what I mean, there's only
couple
two
years back.
There's only two
I don't know
differences.
if any-
There's standard, and then there's you need to jiggle the handle. You know,
That's right.
if the water keeps running.
All right, Mark, what's your question for us?
The garbage disposal.
Yes. Hey, what's your question for us?
Okay, so in what Disney cartoon feature can you hear the voice of Roger Miller?
You talking about the singer?
The band leader?
No, he's not a band. He's a country singer.
Oh, okay.
You remember?
You're thinking Mitch Miller, maybe.
Mitch Miller.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking Glenn Miller.
Glenn
Or
Miller.
Glenn Miller.
Who I was
remember
thinking about.
Glenn Miller's
Yeah.
got the
Sing
band.
along with Mitch Miller.
Roger Miller was the guy, about the song about the cigarettes, and remember that?
Dun, 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 dun,
You know what I'm talking about,
dun,
Roger Miller? Yeah.
dun,
Trailers
dun,
for sale or rent.
Okay.
Trailers for sale or rent.
You're amazing. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. When it comes to songs,
geography,
song,
Man of means by no means. King of the road. It's
Oh,
King of the road.
There we go.
King of the road. That was Roger
All right.
Miller.
Well, so what about the thing? What what movie can they hear him singing in the background? And hear
A Disney movie?
Yeah,
Roger Miller?
Hear Budgie
Singing, singing, or just hear his voice? Is he maybe voicing a character? Mark?
He's one of the. He represents one of the characters, and he also sings.
Hey,
Wow.
we're stopped.
That's
Go ahead
good.
and tell us the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Robin Hood.
What?
Oh, Robin Hood. Yes,
part
my
is-
kids loved that cartoon growing up.
What's his voice?
You're right.
No. What
I
is
think
his
he's
voice?
saying it's Robin Hood.
No. Okay, so he does the voice for Alan Adale.
Okay, I forget that was the one like with the fox and Robin
Right.
Hood was the fox, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, from the 60s.
70s.
70s, okay.
Hey, good. Thanks,
Excellent
Mark.
trivia, man.
Most questions, thank you, Mark. Most questions with a Disney background, if they're going to ask about it, you got 50-50 shot with Kurt Russell. just
All
say
those
Kurt.
live action, the computer wore tennis shoes.
Oh, man.
Strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'm surprised they don't have a ride at
Russell.
Disney World called
the Kurt
Kirk Russell.
They're missing a good opportunity. You've given them a good idea. Well, now they got non-binary rides and everything, so that ship has sailed.
All right.
All right, let's repeat our questions for the last time today, fellas.
Okay.
How about that?
I have two questions remaining.
All right.
Number one, who discovered penicillin? Just simple as that. Second question, Caesar Augustus was emperor of Rome when Jesus was born. Who was Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified? And those are my two questions.
I've got two left. How many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have? And then the next question, multiple choice. What percentage of Americans actually eat turkey on Thanksgiving? Is it 48%, 68%, or 88%? I know we say Turkey Day, but are people eating fish, Chinese? What's the actual percentage? 48%, 68%, or 88%?
Good.
The lone question I have left is the year 2022. What were the top boy and girl names in the United States? The babies born in that year, actually, they go back 4 years, 4 consecutive years. These two names have been at the top of the list for boys and girls born in the United States. What
and
are
that's a
they?
simple look up. If you can just look that up,
Yeah.
folks.
So you're looking for two answers.
Yes, sir.
What's the boys
Yes,
and
sir.
what's the girls?
I am.
The last 4 years.
Two-part question. It's an open book test.
Open book test.
Open book test.
Look it up. All right,
If you can't pass an open book test.
I always thought those were pretty hard because they usually picked obscure questions,
yeah.
and you had a.
I got a
hunt.
little problem with those obscure. We never did talk about that in class. No, we did not. But it is in the book.
Yes.
Over in the margin with a little asterisk.
Find
You're
it.
like, do you really want us to learn?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to go, gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right, we go to Texas, and Jeff is on the line. Jeff, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, esteemed professors.
Jeff, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. It's nice to be esteemed.
Yes. Thank you for your honesty, Jeff. What part of Texas?
Texarkana, border of Texas and Arkansas, and I feel betterer, smarterer, and more awesomer just being in your presence.
Buddy,
Wow.
you got it right there.
Do you know Jeff Shreve?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours. Hey, next time you see him, he still owes me $7. I don't want to bug him about it, but if you could drop that in his ear.
But you're right there, Jeff. You'll bump into him at the launch
Just $7, but it's been gnawing at me. You know what I'm saying?
And $7 is $7
these days.
Today's economy is 2 gallons of gas.
Bionomics, absolutely. All right, Jeff, ask, answer, or do both.
I'd like to do both.
All right, which one you feel confident about? Keep in mind your family and all of America is listening.
Yeah, well, no pressure there. I want to ask about the Caesar that was alive when Christ was.
Okay, Jeff, here's the question. Caesar Augustus was emperor of Rome when Jesus was born. Who was the Roman emperor when Jesus was crucified? What say you, Jeff?
Tiberius.
Tiberius.
Oh,
Correct.
nicely done.
Nicely
done.
Nicely done.
There's a town on the shores of the Sea of Galilee even today, named after Tiberius.
Tiberius?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we go there every year.
Right.
Tiberius.
You're going again in March, right?
Going again in March, Lord willing. Yep. Jeff?
Ed, I've got a question for you after I get my real question out for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm using a cell phone now. We've had cell phones for 30-plus years, and we're all old enough to know what old enough to know what a party line is. It's a true or false question. Were party lines ever run on barbed wire?
Party lines run on barbed wire.
There's the deal. Thank you for bringing that right to my well house. No, I do know this. Let me deviate just a little bit. You know that you are redneck at Thanksgiving if you had your Thanksgiving meal on a ping pong table. Or if your ironing board was the buffet with some of the sides on it. You know you're a redneck at Thanksgiving if your salad bowls say Cool Whip on the side. Or if at one point you had to decide which pet you were going to eat.
If you're going to keep going,
No,
Jeff Foxworthy's going to hit you with copyright infringement.
I'm going to stop right there. That's I don't know. I'm going to say true.
I'm going to say true. I'm going to say true just because
bizarre.
it's you're from Texas. It's kind of an odd question, and sometimes people know these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say true. What's
Jerry rigging, two-party line. Did any of that ever? Did they run
on a barbed wire?
Yeah, a little
fence.
A little piece of that on a
I'm
barbed wire.
going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
We got 2 yeses, 1 no. Jeff, what do you say?
The internet never tells a lie, right? So we'll go with it is true in those rural areas. The only wire out there and the expense to run it in those extreme rural areas, they use the barbed wire.
I believe it. Nicely done.
Yes.
Barbed wire. You can run. You're talking about the phone?
With the barbs on their phone lines. Yes, you just need a wire to be able to run that signal, and it was party line, and it was crude. Yes, jerry rigging at its finest.
Huh, okay.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Well,
that's right.
We're kind of uppity here where I live. In this part of Mississippi, we don't really identify with you little people.
I talked about people
your
that
country living.
I heard people that say they live so far back in the boonies that they had to run electricity to their house on barbed wire, and they said we'd go towards town to hunt.
Was that you were that far out?
Yes.
All right, Jeff. You said you had one extra thing you wanted to ask.
Yeah, Ed. I think you're sci-fi buff, right?
I do like some of it. I'm not necessarily a buff, but go ahead. Ask your question.
Star Trek, the original Star Trek series, everybody's familiar with James T. Kirk, James Tiberius Kirk.
Right.
And when we talked about Caesar Tiberius, I was thinking, was James T. Kirk named Tiberius for Caesar or someone else?
I think it was someone else. Was it? It was. I think it was someone else. I can't remember, but I don't think he was named after Caesar. Was he?
No. With the introduction of Chris Pine as Captain James T. Kirk, he was born right as his father died, and his parents named him Tiberius after his grandpa.
Okay.
James Tiberius is great. And he got James from his mother's side of the family.
Okay.
Who are we talking about now?
The first
talking
one
about
was
Star Trek.
James T. Kirk, captain of the USS Enterprise. You want to jump in here, Tim?
I just wonder what that. I just wonder what that Thanksgiving gathering is like.
Hey, Jeff, have a great weekend.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, shall we continue?
Yeah, why not? We got 7 minutes.
All right, we go to Indiana, and Debbie is on the line. Debbie, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hi, Hi, what an honor to be with three esteemed professors.
Hi, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Hi.
It's our honor, but we appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm calling from Lafayette, Indiana.
Nice area.
Heartland of America right there.
That's right.
If I come to Lafayette,
Yes.
Indiana, what should I see? What's a don't miss in your area?
What's a can't miss?
Right.
We have a Subaru automotive plant here in Lafayette.
Okay.
We've got Purdue University.
Yes. That's in
Yeah,
West.
and
That's
and
in West Lafayette, right?
Yes, you are correct. That is in West Lafayette, but we don't hold them no ill feeling for being on the other side of the river. That's okay. We still claim them.
All right. What river's that?
That is the Wabash.
Wabash.
And Debbie, this is a deep dive in trivia, but I actually flew myself to Lafayette, and I flew into the airport, and I thought, this airport is head and shoulders above many that I'd flown into. And then I solved the mystery. Purdue has an excellent aviation program. And it spills over into a real nice,
Gotcha. Makes sense.
really super nice runways and what they call an FBO, which is like a gas station for a private air.
Boilermaker Airport.
Boy, it was nice. Yeah.
All right, Debbie, we're ready.
Yes.
Ask, answer, or both.
Okay. I'd like to do both, please.
Okay, which one do you want to answer?
I would like to answer JJ's question about the shower rings.
Yes, ma'am. Here's the question, Debbie. How many shower curtain rings does the typical shower curtain have?
It has 12.
Hey!
Yes.
Right at the end of the show.
Right. Stainless steel AFR travel mug is headed your way to Lafayette, Indiana.
This is fantastic. This is my second time to call, and my first time to get through.
Well, let me just tell you about this AFR stainless steel travel mug. You could hook up a wire to it and get a party line if you wanted to. Use it for a phone.
So you, we're going to send that to you.
Nice.
How did you know the answer to that?
I looked in my bathroom.
Yeah, walk down the hall.
Yes.
Walk down the hall and count the rings.
That's
That's
12.
research right there.
Yep.
Absolutely. How do you like that for research?
Yeah,
hey, I have another real quick comment. The question about the Black Friday being the busiest day for plumbers.
Yes, ma'am.
I read an article in today's newspaper, and they call that Brown Friday.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say it.
Yes.
Debbie. That
Debbie.
is funny and tacky at the same time. Hey, Debbie, make sure and stay on the line so we can get your address. Congratulations. What a great way to close out the show.
Does she have a question for
Yeah, you have a question
Really?
for us?
Yes, I do. This is a trivia question. Who was known as the king of the twist?
Is that going to be Chubby Checker guy?
Okay, don't say anything, Debbie. Don't. Oh, was that it?
It is 100% right.
Way to go,
Chubby
JJ.
Checker.
Because that was his song,
yeah, I
wasn't
think it was his song.
Twist.
Right.
Was he a one-hit
the
wonder?
twist.
He have some other.
I don't know if he was a one-hit wonder. Do you know, Debbie? If he was a one-hit wonder?
No, well, that was his first big hit. That was from like 1960. He went on to do several other songs that had dances like the Hucklebuck, the Pony. I don't know if he started this dancing trend, but it was supposedly a dance that was kind of altered to the beat.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else he did, deep trivia. So Chubby Checker and the National Association of Chiropractors invented the game Twister, and they both made a mint. For different reasons.
Different reasons.
Absolutely.
Hey, Debbie, thank you so much. You have a good and kind spirit. I'm going to put you on hold, all right, and we'll get your information so we can get the AFR travel mug in the mail, and we enjoy it here at the end of the year.
Sweet lady.
All right, I have one question. Who discovered penicillin? That's all I've got left. You guys know?
Salk?
No, that's what I said last week.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Alexander Fleming.
What percentage of Americans actually eat turkey
I'm
on
going to say
Thanksgiving?
68%.
Tim?
What was the second one?
48%.
48. I'm going to say 48.
88%.
88%.
Yeah, so it really is Turkey Day.
Yeah.
All right. The number one name for a boy for the last 4 years is Liam. Liam.
Wow.
In the United States. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
The number one name for girls in the last 4 years consecutive is Olivia.
Really?
Olivia.
Olivia number one, Liam number two. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back here on Monday.
You know, one of the most significant men in human history is George.